Page 279, we're going to look at the answers to these problems. So for number 6, the missing numbers here should be 6 and 9. And then when you go to graph those points should line up with each other. Another possible point you could have would be 8, 12, and we could go up from there. The book is doing a dotted line. I would probably just do this as a solid line. We don't really know what they're talking about, so we're going to assume that we could have some in-between numbers here. For number 7, one possible pair of values would be 35 and 14. Some other possibilities would be 50 and 20, 30 and 12, 10 and 4, 15 and 6, 45 and 18, 20 and 8. And again, not really knowing what they are talking about here, we could probably have this just as a solid line as well. Number 8, missing numbers would be 6 and 30 for part A. Part B would be graphing that. And again, we're going to assume she could run or walk for parts of minutes, so I would do this as a solid line. And then the question is, how long would the student walk if she runs for 7 minutes? We could try to get this off of our graph, 7 minutes. They drew a line pretty good here. It's right in between the 30 and the 40, so that would be 35 minutes of walking. Another way we could do this, and this ties into our next lesson, is we could reduce these numbers down, and that would be 1 minute of running for 5 minutes of walking. And then if we're trying to get to 7 minutes of running, that'd be 7 times as much. So 5 times 7 would be 35. So there's other ways than just depending on our graph to be perfect, and also for depending on the answer to come out perfectly as well. Number 9, missing numbers in the table. You can see here, missing miles driven would be 25, 100, and 400. Missing gallons of gas would be 12. And then which car travels the farthest on 1 gallon of gas would be car B. For this, we can see car A, it's 25 miles for 1 gallon. And again, we'll get into this more in the next section, but car B, it's 140 miles for 5 gallons. If you divided that out, that's 28 miles per gallon. And then car C, 81 miles for 3 gallons. If you divide that out, is 27 miles per gallon. The other way you could do that is you could try to get all of them to 15 gallons. 15 would be a number that would work with 1, 3, and 5. You could figure out for 15 gallons which one goes the further distance. Number 10. On the table, missing numbers would be 5, 10, 15, and 20. And then on the graph, it would look something like this. Potentially we could have partial cups of these ingredients, I would say, so we could do a solid line, put an arrow on the end. And then the question is, how many cups of whole wheat flour do we need for mixing with 16 cups of white flour? So 16 cups of white flour would be right at the top of the graph here. They're going every other box, and they're going by 4s, so this would be at 20. 18 would be the box in between, and then 20 would be that top box. So we would need 20 cups of whole wheat flour mixed with 16 cups of white flour. Number 11 asks what point on the graph represents the number of cups of sugar that would be used with 8 cups of flour. So cups of flour is here, 8 cups of flour would be this point. Remember, you do the X first and then the Y, so that would be the point 8, 2, 8, 2. Number 12, Ishwar can read 5 pages in 15 minutes. Anne can read 15 pages in 1 hour. Explain how you could use a table or graph to find how much longer it would take Anne to read a 300-page book than Ishwar. So the book just said we could make a table of equivalent ratios to find how long it takes them to read 300 pages and then find the difference. And Anne would take 5 hours longer than Ishwar to read the book. So to actually work that out, 5 pages in 15 minutes. We're trying to get to 300 pages. This is actually a good pattern here. Multiplying by 60. So 15 times 60, that would be 900 minutes. Okay, that would be for Ishwar. Then what we have to watch is that we have different units here. So 15 pages for Anne, that was in 1 hour. Well, I'm going to go ahead and change that to 60 minutes because the other one was in minutes. And to get from 15 to 300, that would be, we would have to multiply by 20. So 60 times 20 would be 1,200 minutes. And then from there, we could just subtract those. So that'd be 300 minutes, which if you take 300 divided by 60, that would be 5 hours. And again, they didn't ask us technically to work that out, so it's more of an explanation is fine. If you worked it out, that's how it would come out. Then number 13, completing the table. Missing number of days, you might have done 2, 4, 6, and 8. And then the money owed would be $20, $15, $10, $5, and $0. And the reason it's probably easiest to use those numbers is it says he's paying back $5 every 2 days. And then so what that tells us is it would take him 8 days to pay back his debt. After 8 days, he would not owe any money. And then this time, we're not going to have arrows on the ends of this because once his debt's paid, he's not going to keep paying. And we're not going to go backwards and say, you know, this many days ago, -3 days ago. It doesn't make sense with what we're doing on this problem.